What's up, my packet people? So today we're going to talk about TryHackMe room. I'm excited to do another walkthrough with you, and this is going to be the Wireshark intro room, or the Wireshark the Basics. Now I'm really excited about this room and also all of this content from TryHackMe, so that's why I want to do some walkthroughs with it and show you how I would approach a room like this. Now it's not just this room, but it's also really cool the learning path that this is a part of. So if you go to TryHackMe and if you come down to the SOC level 1 module, that whole learning path, and if you come down to network security traffic analysis, you're going to see that there's a lot of different rooms. You got Snort, you got Network Miner, Zeek, Brim. So I'm going to do a walkthrough of several of these different rooms, and I'm going to start actually kind of out of turn here because you know I'm a Wireshark guy. Come on. I'm going to start with the Wireshark the Basics room and get started there. So let's go ahead and do this one. Now I went ahead and started the virtual machine, and I'm in the system here. You can see my IP. And just to do a little bit on the introduction here, so just read through this. It's going to ask these questions. Which file is used to simulate the screenshots? So I'm just going to come here, just do a little cut and paste, submit. So it's HTTP1 PCAP-NG, and the exercise PCAP-NG is going to be that other file to answer the questions. Now I can see that I have both of those PCAPs for me on the virtual machine that I can interact with here on TryHackMe. All right, so now let's go ahead and dig in. Now it's going to give me an overview of Wireshark as a tool, which is pretty cool. So we can read through this. If we're new to Wireshark, gives you a bit of a lay of the land, shows you the toolbar, display filters, recent files, all stuff that you've seen here on the channel as well. But it's just showing you that just to give us a good overview of the tool. Coming down here, coloring packets. You've seen that on the channel as well. Traffic sniffing, merging. So now it's asking me, okay, so use the exercise PCAP-NG file to answer this question. Let's go ahead and come over here to our virtual machine. I'm going to pop this open. And it might take you a little bit to get that PCAP2 open. You can see here it's taking some time here. Again, this is the exercise.pcap-ng file. And you'll know you got it right if you have 58,620 packets in this PCAP, unless that's been changed since I did this recording, which is possible. All right, so the first thing, read the capture file comments. What's the flag? Let's go to statistics, capture file properties, and that's going to bring up our capture file properties. If I come down here, you can take a look at your file comments. Okay, so the flag is TryHackMe Wireshark demo. So let me just come over here. I'm just going to copy that, and the way that that works is I come into my clipboard, and now I can just take and I can paste that in, and I can just submit that. What's total number of packets? We saw that already, 58,58620. Okay, so there we go. And what's the SHA-256 hash value of the capture? So let me show you where to find that. I'm just going to clear this out, put that clipboard away. And if I come into statistics, and actually let me remove my head so I'm out of the way there. If I go to capture file properties, and the hash 256 value, okay, so I can just take and I can just copy this one. Definitely don't want to have to type that one all the way out. All right, so here we go. There's that value. Let's go ahead and pop this in, answer format. Let's submit that, and whoop, whoop, answer is correct. Cool, so we went ahead and got through that second task. So let's go ahead and button this one up. Let's come down to that third task there. So now this is just going to show me just a little bit deeper into Wireshark about packet dissection, the details. You can see the different addressing information that it's showing. So let's go ahead and answer these questions over here. So let's go ahead and take a look at packet number 38. Which markup language is used under the HTTP protocol? All right, so let me get this out of the way, and I'm going to get my big old head out of the way for you too. Okay, so packet 38. Okay, so I can just scroll down to it. Also, as a trick, something I want to show you, this is something just as a good to know. If you ever come up here and you can actually, you see a little arrows here that are a little almost kind of grayed out. One of these arrows, go to the specified packet. This will bring down a packet little drop down there, and you can actually, if you want to, you can type in 38 and it'll jump to that packet. Now, when you're just looking at a packet that's at the beginning of a PCAP where you don't have a ton of things to comb through, that's not going to save you a ton of time. But let's just say I sent you a PCAP and it had millions of packets in there, and you had to jump to the 500,000th one. It's a little faster to do it that way instead of scroll to find that packet number. And again, that's going to be just up on top. You can hover over it, go to the specified packet. All right, so let's go ahead and keep going. So here we are on packet 38. And if I take a look at the markup language, okay, extensible markup language. So really, that's the answer there. So let's go ahead and just type that in. So we're just going to do extensible markup language. Submit. Okay, cool. So let's go ahead and move forward. What's the arrival date of the packet? Answer format is month, day, year. So to find that, if I come up here to the frame information, let me expand this. This is going to show me the month, day, and year that it arrived into the analyzer that actually captured it. All right, so month is first. So if I come over here, arrival time, May 13th, 2004. Ooh, a little bit ago. All right, so that's going to be 05 for May. It's going to be 13. And if I slash it, it's going to be 2004. I think they wanted the full year there. Yep, okay. What's the time to live value? Okay, let's collapse our frame 38, and I'm going to expand IP. Going to come down to our time to live is 47. Now, you know how to use that if you've been watching my channel. So 47, that gives me a bit of a context on how far away this packet came from. Typically, that number starts at 64, 128, or 255, and decrements with every router on its route back to me. So right away, I can glance at that and get an idea of how far away that station is that likely sent this, unless something in the middle adjusted that number. Okay? Okay, so what's the payload size? Now by payload, typically that means anything that's encapsulated within TCP. So I'm going to expand TCP, come down here to the segment length, and I'm going to try this number, 424, and let's submit, and sure enough, that answer is correct. So that's my actual payload of the packet. So the actual application, then I have the TCP header, IP, and so on, down to the Ethernet. All right, what's the ETag value? All right, so that's going to be an HTTP thing. So we can come down to the HTTP header, go ahead and double click that or expand that caret. And if you come down to ETag, here we can see we've got this value here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to actually right click and I'm going to say copy value. And I'm going to come over here to my clipboard, and here I'm just going to take that actual string itself. Okay. And let's just do a copy. Gonna come over here to ETag and paste that in, and whoop, whoop, there we go. All right, so this shows us with exercise PCAP-PNG just a few other ways that we can get into this data within a packet. So how to jump to a packet, looking at the frame information, and how to remove little values doing a right-click copy value. Okay, so that was task number 3. Let's go ahead and move forward to task number 4. Okay, so now this is showing us a few other things, more navigation, packet numbers, how to jump to a packet, find packets, mark them, packet comments, exporting packets, and objects. So this is going to be fun. All right, so you feel free to go ahead and read through this. I'm just jumping down to the answers here. So search for the R4W string in packet details. What's the name of artist 1? Okay, now keep in mind for this, a little bit tricky if you're used to setting display filters. Maybe the temptation is to come up here and just say, ooh, frame matches R4W. But that's not really what this exercise is asking. So this is just saying, hey, where does R4W exist at any packet anywhere in this PCAP? All right, so that's not really what I'm looking for. Instead, what I want to do, I'm going to just remove this. It says in packet details, not in the packet hex. So I want to look at the R4W string in the packet details. So how do I do that? Well, if I come up here, I can go to my search. See, there's that little magnifying glass. It's a little grayed out there. And this is where I can go into packet details, not list or bytes. And I'm going to be looking for a string, okay? So not a filter, hex value, regular expression. I want a string, and that string in my red here is going to be R4W. All right, so find that. And we're digging through, so it found it here. And this is where we can see down here, it spotted it down here at the bottom. So artists.php, and it says artist1. So the question is, what is the name of artist1? Okay, so over here I can just kind of count up the numbers or count up the amount of characters I'm looking for. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so if I come over here, I can see that I've got the artists images logo.gif. I just want to make sure that I'm on the right packet here. Yep, I am. 200 OK. And we found it down here. So artist and R4W8173. That definitely matches the string I'm looking for. So let's go ahead and try that. R4W, and 8173. Okay, submit. Correct answer. So that was it. So that R4W was the beginning of that artist name. Okay, so that's what I was looking for. Go to packet 12. Read the comments. What's the answer? Let me remove my filter. And anytime I'm further down in a PCAP like this, I've got 37 packets up ahead of me. So I'm going to go ahead and by the way, a second ago, I'm sorry if my head was in the way. You can see that I have that artist PHP here, and I was able to find that name over here on the right. So you should be able to do the same. All right, bringing my head back in. All right, so let's go ahead and jump back up to the top here. And if I go back to the beginning, this is my jump back to the beginning button. Go back to the first packet. Gonna right click, or I'm sorry, not right click, just scroll. Gonna come down to packet number 12. And right here, packet comments. If I actually right click packet 12, I can come in and go to packet comments, and it's gonna show me the full comment here. At first it says it's not a flag, or this is not a flag. If I scroll down though, it's giving me further instructions. It's saying go to packet number 39765, go to the packet details pane, right click on the JPEG section, export packet bytes, alternative way extracting data from a capture file. Okay, so 39765. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and just jump to a packet, 39765, go. Okay, so I come down here to my JPEG file exchange format, and I can see the number of bytes that are there. I'm going to go ahead and just right click this, and I'm going to export packet bytes. And let's just name that 2.jpg. Okay. And that's going to be kicked out to the desktop. I'm just going to do a quick little peek here and just show you a little something. Okay, so this is going to set a filter on that. And if I can take a look up here, let's actually, this is the OK. This is the get response for the get just up here. And if I expand HTTP, this is where I can say, okay, this is where we're getting, you see, we're getting /pictures/2.jpg. So I had actually just seen this before, so that's why I named it 2.jpg. So you might have been wondering where I got that name from. But there we go. So 2.jpg, and then the response came, and that's why I exported it and named it 2.jpg. Okay. So now what? So let's go ahead and go to the rest of our instructions here. So here I've got this file. Now there's a bunch of different ways we can get the MD5 hash from this file. I just popped open a terminal just now, just navigated to my desktop, just going to take a look at that 2.jpg. So let's do MD5 sum, and I'm going to do 2.jpg. Boom. All right, so this is the actual MD5 hash. So let me come in here. Just going to right click that one or copy it and come into my clipboard, and let me just do this again. Copy, and boom, submit, and that's our right answer. So way to go if you were able to follow that. Now typically for me in my analysis workflow, I'm not going to approach a file or exporting that file the way that TryHackMe is asking you to do it. Typically what I'm going to do is go up to the file menu and then go to export objects. Come over here to HTTP, because that was actually an object that was transferred over HTTP. From down here, text filter, I can just do JPG for JPEG, and then I can see that packet number associated with that file that I want to export, and it even gives me the file name 2.jpg. I can just hit save, and then I can export that to my desktop, and then I can go ahead and look up that MD5 that way. I just wanted to show you that I typically would do it that way. Now this can also help me with the next question that we have in this section. It's asking for a text file. So instead of JPEG, let's just come in here, just do TXT. And here I've just got one text file in this PCAP, note.txt. Let's save it. And I'm going to just save it out of the desktop, hit save, and then going to come in here and just going to do, let's just open it up. And when I pop that open with Pluma, I can see note.txt, and there's actually a picture of an alien here. And packet master, it looks like that's the name. So let's go ahead and just type that in, packet master, submit. Good. Okay. So that's that flag. Just going to close this down, and I'm going to jump over to back into my packets and reset things. And now it says, look at the expert info section. What's the number of warnings? So there's two ways that you can get to the expert info section. You can either come down here to this little, basically the little circle there that's red. If you select that, it's going to bring up the expert information. And it said, what's the number of warnings? Okay, so if I come here, if I just expand this out just a little bit, I can come over here to the right and I can see 1636 is the number of warning level events. Okay, so that's not error level events or notes or chats, but just the warning level events. If you expand this out, you can actually see what some of those detailed warnings are. And if you select this, you can actually jump back into the packets. And so the Wireshark Expert, honestly, I don't use it a whole lot, but it's a good way to just head check to see if you have any low-hanging fruit, if you have anything that jumps out to Wireshark as a problem in the PCAP. Okay, so that's the end of task number 4. So let's go ahead and go down here to, all right, packet filtering. So right now we're in exercise PCAP NG. You can always go into here to take a read through here, how to colorize, how to add columns. I've got more of that kind of content on my channel, so I won't go through that with you right now. But what we're going to do is go to packet 4, right-click on Hypertext Transfer Protocol, apply it as a filter. Okay, look at the filter pane. What's a filter query? Okay, so let's go ahead and say close. And I'm going to jump back up to the top, and I'm going to come down to packet number 4. All right, so it's coming down to HTTP, and it says right-click and apply as filter, selected. So our filter that we've actually applied there is HTTP, so any packets that match that filter will be displayed for us. So I'm just going to come over here and just say HTTP. That's our filter query. What's the number of displayed packets? I've got 1089 that match that filter. Okay, so on the next question, we're asked to go to packet number 33790, follow the stream, and then get what's the total number of artists. So after tinkering with this just a little bit, I did find that I wasn't able to find the answer to this question from actually within this follow stream. I'd remembered that before you could do a find and do artist, and this would give you, okay, artist.php, and then you have another artist example down there, and then you're basically bouncing between those two instances. You remember before we used to be able to artist equals 1, and we would get a hit for that, but we're not in this one. I think maybe something might have changed with this PCAP, but not all is lost. Let's go ahead and just show you. Just want to show you how another way to do this, okay? And you might find other ways. So I'm just going to show you how I would actually do this. Let me just do close. Okay, so I'm not going to do this through the follow TCP stream the way that TryHackMe is asking me. Instead, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do file export objects, HTTP, and I'm interested in artist. Okay, so the first one, artist.php. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to save this, save that to my local desktop, and let's just hit save, and then I'm going to come out here. So now that I have this on my desktop here, I'm going to, let me get myself out of the way. All right, I'm going to go ahead and right click this one and just do an open with Pluma, and that'll open up that PHP script, and I can take a look through it and get an answer to the question. So the question was, how many artists are there? So we already know that we have artist 1. We've seen that before, and here's the name of that artist. And then I have artist 2 and artist 3. So it looks like artist 2 is Blade with a 3, and Lyzae is the artist number 3. So that tells me I've got 3 artists, and the name of the second artist is BLAD3. Okay? So instead of actually doing that through follow TCP stream, I did get it to work by extracting that PHP script and then opening it up there locally, and I was able to see what was going on. Okay, so that was task number 5. Let's go ahead and keep going here. Down with the conclusion. Congratulations, you just finished Wireshark, the basics room. In this room, we covered Wireshark. So If you'd like to go ahead and continue on with the next room, I'm going to be doing a write-up on that as well. You might have noticed that there's lots of tips and tricks that I shared with you on this video, things that I bring from my real packet analysis work that I do, and how I would apply that to a CTF or a TryHackMe room like this. So congratulations, everybody. Thanks for sticking with me, and I will see you again on another TryHackMe room walkthrough. Take care, everybody.